Good evening and welcome to News Center. I'm Cecil Pergram.
And I'm Shelby Steele. This is your news for September 29th, 2011.
MSU has a new tobacco policy. News Center has more.
Starting in July, MSU issued a new tobacco ban. Chief of Police Matt Sparks says one of the reasons for the ban is due to health.
Kind of initiative that the university looked at, as being health conscious across the campus community. Obviously, we're about education at the university. We know how many deaths and how much sickness and illness smoking is responsible for, and so I think it was just an effort to help our students and our faculty and staff live a healthier lifestyle.
Chief Sparks says this should not only be enforced by the police. He says faculty and students should help enforce the rules as well.
No more as far as the police department responsibility. We're not the smoking police. We're not out writing people tickets for smoking. It's not against the law, and we're not tasked with solely the police being. We're not the sole enforcer of the smoking. In other words, the way it's supposed to work, if someone sees a student or a faculty or a staff member smoking on campus, it's supposed to be the building, whatever building it's closest to, or whatever building it's in front of, behind, or like I said, located closest to, that building supervisor or the person over that particular department or any employee is supposed to point it out and say, hey, you're in a non-smoking environment.
Sparks says the negative factor about the tobacco ban is now students are littering the businesses around campus.
I've actually had more complaints coming into the police department from our neighbors in the community. And that's been an issue. There was a guy in my office just 2 weeks ago complaining because students, faculty, staff. He just said MSU people, so I don't know who he was referring to, but was smoking on this. There's a lot here. In fact, it's directly in front of Baird. But it's a private lot, and that he owns that lot. And he said it's full of cigarette butts. There's trash in it. Ever since we've initiated the smoking ban on campus. So he actually posted that lot as no trespassing, and asked us to enforce trespassing statutes. If we see somebody there that's not supposed to be there, that we enforce a trespassing statute.
This new policy is creating a stir amongst MSU students. Many have differing opinions on how effective the ban is.
I'm a non-smoker, but I feel like the smoking ban is really it's not really fair to students. I think that it kind of segments and discriminates against a certain sect of students, and it's really not good because it kind of goes against everything that America stands for. It's taken away these people's civil liberties and their freedoms by telling them that they can't do something somewhere that it's their right to do, especially in Kentucky, which has a huge tobacco industry. And I really don't agree with the smoking ban.
I feel that the smoking ban is a good idea because people should have the right to be in a smoke-free environment if they choose, and it shouldn't be impressed upon them.
Personally, I don't smoke, but I've never had a problem with being around people that do smoke, honestly. So I don't know. I feel like the ban's kind of unfair, but it's kind of like, what can you do? From what I heard, the only reason they did it's because they got money breaks with like the insurance and stuff, so it's more cheap for Morehead State to be a smoke-free campus, and I feel like that's really the only reason they did it.
I'm strongly against the ban. I don't think that it's appropriate to have to smoke on a sidewalk. It's causing a lot of problems with people complaining about cigarette butts everywhere, and if they hadn't removed the places that we could properly put our cigarette butts away at, we wouldn't have this issue.
MSU professor Steve Middleton will have his new documentary, Zen Furnace, screened at the 2011 Louisville International Film Festival. The film is one of 13 entries in the Best Documentary Short category. The documentary focuses on a group of Zen Buddhists and their temple nestled in the hills of Powell County, Kentucky. The festival will take place October 5th through the 9th in downtown Louisville. Zen Furnace will screen Friday the 7th at 11:30 a.m. at the Galt House.
At noon today, protesters took to the streets in Lexington The protest is being called Occupy Lexington and takes place at J.P. Morgan Chase Bank on East Main Street. Occupy Lexington is one of many protests inspired by the current occupation of Wall Street. While the protests are not officially linked, they all share a common goal of getting corporate money out of politics, decreasing the power of banks, and expressing their anger with the current political and economic climate. The protesters have promised to occupy as long as they can encourage those interested to join them.
With enrollment here at MSU being higher this year than the past couple, students are finding it harder and harder to find parking places on campus. newscenter's Ariel Ross has more.
Newscenter went to the streets to gather the opinion of MSU students on the more strictly enforced parking situation. Many had very strong feelings about what some would say is an inconvenience.
The parking situation's kind of ridiculous because at night you really can't see the lines on the ground, and so when you go to pull up and you park beyond the yellow line, and then you wake up in the morning and your car's towed, it's kind of they should at least give out warnings. And I think that coming from a senior, me being a senior, I think that seniors should be able to have first dibs on parking spots, and then I think it should be, step by step after that.
I paid $120 for a parking pass. I'm a junior here at Moorhead, and I've had multiple nights where I have to park in overflow. I think that it is ridiculous that we are having to pay for parking passes and then there's not enough spots on campus.
I hate the parking situation. It's really, really stupid, and they need to change it.
Well, since enrollment is up and we have a new wellness center we blew all of our money on, there's nowhere to park. We should have built a parking garage like they told us they were going to 5 years ago. That would have been great.
I'm not satisfied with the parking. Usually I have to park in the overflow over by Cartmel, even though I don't live there anymore. I live here, Alumni. Can't park very close.
I just feel like the cops are cracking down this year, and it's kind of over the top. It's getting ridiculous.
Pretty much it's bad this year. I think it's where all the incoming freshmen, but it still sucks.
I live in Manon Tower, and there's not even parking for me to be there. And most of the time, by the time I go around 30 minutes, I end up having to go to overflow lot, which is really far from Manon Tower, and I really think that there should be more parking.
For Newscenter, this is Ariel Ross.
We'll be right back after the break with Rachel Stoudeman and a quick look at weather.
When you're thirsty, are you going to depend on a crumpled old dollar? Remind yourself to always bring your Eagle card. Hey dude, I think you're forgetting something. Always keep beaker bucks loaded onto your Eagle card just in case. It's the fastest way to make all of your on-campus purchases.
Welcome back to News Center. Right now in Moorhead, we're seeing mostly clear conditions with a nice temperature at 73 degrees. Fairly warmer than what we've been seeing towards the beginning of the week, but that looks like a trend. The past couple of weeks we've been seeing cooler temperatures, but then as the week progresses, we're getting warmer temperatures, and that's the same trend for this week. We got a cool dew point at 53 degrees. And record temperatures for today, back in 1953, the high was 95 degrees, which we are nowhere near that, nor are we near the low of 29 degrees back in 1942. Clear skies all across the Commonwealth. We are seeing some showers up in parts of Indiana, and that's going to come down into Moorhead tonight. But after those showers happen tonight, we're going to see clear skies for the rest of the weekend and into parts of next week. But we are seeing warmer temperatures all across the Bluegrass. 81 degrees, the hot spot down in Bowling Green. 79 degrees over in Louisville. The capital of Frankfort looking at 74 degrees. 73 degrees is the trend at Lexington. Also 73 degrees in Jackson. Over in Ashland and up in parts of northern Kentucky, Covington is sitting at 73 degrees also, and 72 degrees down in London. We are going to see the warmer temperatures for the rest of the day. Tomorrow we're going to see fairly warmer temperatures, but now to the weekend we're going to see cooler temperatures but clear skies, and we'll continue to see that for the rest of the week. But now we're going to take it back to Shelby Seal at the News Center desk with our new series, News Center Notices.
This is our new series. And it is a segment we're going to have every week, and we're going to focus on students that are doing things around campus. And this week we have Will Gray and Cara DeMoss, and they sent cancer cells into space this summer. So they're going to tell us more about that. So guys, how exactly did this project come about?
We were contacted by the Space Science Center here at Moorhead State to do a biological portion of an experiment, mechanical experiment that they were doing that would have the opportunity to possibly go into outer space.
So what exactly did this project entail?
Well, we spent a lot of time culturing and growing the cells in the lab in Lappin Hall, and that took a while before we were able to be contacted by Kentucky Space and have the opportunity to have space on the last two shuttles with the NASA missions. And then we were able to have the opportunity to go to Florida and see the launches and the landing and prepare the specimen before they were transported onto the space shuttle.
So how does it feel for you guys to be a part of this experience and be involved with NASA and represent Moorhead?
I'm really honored to be a part of it, to represent Moorhead State University, and not a lot of people get to see space shuttle launches, so it was amazing to be able to be a part of that.
It was a very neat experience being able to watch the shuttle go up and know that something that you've touched, that you've had a hand in, will go up and come back. It's very mind-boggling.
So how will this help you in your future, like with your major and learning more about science and stuff like that?
Well, it has given us chances to be in a lab and do experiments and possibly be recognized for those experiments, and it's allowed us to see, in classes we do experiments all the time, but we don't get to see what happens after that. And going to Florida and working with the people at NASA allowed us, what can we do with the experiments and how can we bring it back and use it for the general scientific knowledge.
Do you guys plan to do any more projects in the future?
Right now we're waiting on a few dots to connect to be able to finish this up. And so we will probably be long gone by the time we finish this up and not enough time for anything else.
Alrighty, well thank you guys for being on the show, and we'll be right back with sports.
For those students with places to go and no car, don't forget to ride your bike. Riding your bike can be a quick way to class, and it's also an enjoyable way to ride through town. Just remember to pay attention and be safe.
For students pursuing a career in the medical health field, come check out the new MSU Share Building. The The Share Building is located right below St. Clair Hospital on Fleming Avenue. This building will offer students the chance to further their understanding of medical health and prepare them for a future with state-of-the-art hands-on classes.
Wonder if my package has come in. Sweet, it has.
How can I help you today, sir?
Yeah, I got a package.
What's your dorm address?
811 Cartmel.
811 Cartmel. See your student ID, please. All right.
Are you feeling helpless? Do you have a lack of motivation? Are you stressed out? We want to help you.
Welcome back to News Center. Right now in Moorhead, we're seeing a warm temperature of 73 degrees and we're seeing mostly clear skies. We are going to see some clouds roll in tonight that are going to bring some storm systems for Moorhead, but they're only going to stay for the night, and then we're going to see clear skies again for the rest of the weekend and into your start of your work week. But we're seeing 49% humidity, fairly windy at 10 miles per hour coming from the southwest. But clear skies all across the Commonwealth, no rain showers anywhere in sight. We are seeing some rain showers up in parts of Indiana. That's going to move in tonight and then it'll be right back out. Tomorrow we'll see clear skies again. Temperatures cool all across the Bluegrass. 81 degrees the hot spot down in Bowling Green. Louisville sitting at 79 degrees. Frankfort, the capital, sitting at 74 degrees. And 73 degrees is the common temperature across the Commonwealth. Lexington sitting at 73. Jackson at 73 degrees. Ashland sitting at 73 degrees, and up in northern Kentucky, Covington is sitting at 73 degrees, but down in London, they are seeing 72 degrees right now. And warm temperatures all across the nation. Florida looking at a hot spot of 91 degrees, and also in parts of California, they're seeing temperatures up into the 90s. But in parts of New York and New England, they're seeing some cooler temperatures due to a storm system that's moving through. They've been seeing all kinds of rain the past several weeks, and they're continuing to see that, and that's giving them temperatures in the upper to mid 50s. But let's take a look at these storm systems. As you can tell, lots of rain up in parts of New England and New York. They're going to continue to see several inches of rain into the rest of the weekend and the next week, and they've really seen a lot of rain the past several weeks, and they're not looking to see any dry skies anytime in the near future. But we are seeing clear conditions right here in Kentucky. Like I said, we're going to see some rain move in tonight, but then we're going to see clear skies all weekend and into next week. But we will see some cooler temperatures. Let's look at the cloud coverage. As you can tell, these are just due to the rain systems that we just looked at. Cloud coverage in parts of New York and New England due to those rain showers, but clear skies all across the Commonwealth and into Indiana and Ohio. Then we're going to see those cloud coverage where that storm system is right now, but it will move into Moorhead tonight. And tonight, like I said, partly cloudy conditions with the low of 60, so it will be warm, but we will see this chance of thunderstorms. Tomorrow, we're going to see mostly cloudy skies, those rain showers definitely moving in, but the high of 65 degrees, so it will still be warm, but won't be as warm as we saw today. But then as the week goes by, we are going to see some cooler temperatures. Now let's take a look at the 5-day forecast for here in Moorhead. Tomorrow, the high will be 65 degrees. That 58 is wrong on the screen, but we will see the low of 39 degrees, so cooler nights for tomorrow and into this weekend. Saturday, like I said, cooler temperatures moving in, 55 degrees, but beautiful skies, clear all around, and the low of 32 degrees. Sunday, clear skies again with the high of 59 and the low of 38. Monday, this is where that bipolar weather starts to come in again. We're seeing 69 degrees the high and the low of 44, but we are continuing to see those clear skies. And Tuesday, a beautiful day, 74 degrees the high and 47 degrees the low. So guys, I really don't know if fall is here yet. This weekend, it looks just like fall, but then the start of next week looks like summer again. So I don't really know when we're going to actually see those cooler temperatures continuing.
I'm just really excited that it's going to be clear.
Yeah. I'm glad the showers are only lasting for tonight. But that's all for weather. Now we'll take it to David Gillen with newscenter Sports.
Your home for the Morehead State Eagles, this is newscenter Sports.
The Morehead State football Eagles narrowly missed its first ever victory over the University of San Diego last weekend. The Eagles led San Diego by 17 points headed into the fourth quarter, but then sophomore quarterback Mason Mills threw 4 touchdowns in the final quarter, including the game-winning score to freshman receiver Brandon White with 17 seconds remaining, giving the Toreros a 48-44 victory over the Eagles. The Eagles' record is now 1-3 overall and 0-1 in the Pioneer Football League. The Eagles will travel to Valparaiso this coming weekend to take on the winless Crusaders. Kickoff is set for 2 p.m. The Eagles volleyball team picked up a 3-0 victory over UT Martin this past weekend, improving the Eagles' record to 9-5 overall and 4-0 in conference. Eagles got another solid contribution from outside hitter Ellie Robertson. She finished with 19 kills. The Eagles also got a double-double performance from outside hitter Irene Bohannon. She had 10 kills and 13 digs. The Eagles will now turn their attention to a 3-game road trip starting this Friday at SIU Edwardsville. The Morehead State Soccer Eagles dropped its first OVC contest in 2 years last Friday when EKU upset the Eagles 1-0. EKU freshman Stephanie Ellison scored the game's only goal in the 84th minute with just over 6 minutes left in the game, earning the Colonels' first ever victory over MSU. The Eagles' record falls to 4-4-2 on the season and 0-1 in OVC play. The Eagles will now look to rebound this Friday night when they travel to Jacksonville, Alabama to take on the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. And now let's take a look at MSU's world-famous sports trivia. Before EKU last Friday, who was the last OVC opponent to defeat the Soccer Eagles at home? Was it A, Illinois State, B, Murray State, C, Eastern Illinois, or D, Austin Peay?
I have no idea, so I'm just going to guess and say B.
I'm going to guess and say A as well. A, Illinois State.
I'm going to go with D, Austin Peay.
Actually, guys, the Eagles' last defeat before Eastern Kentucky was to the hands of Illinois State. The Redbirds scored 5 goals in the first half of that game, scored 5-0, and the Eagles went 12-0 and 4 after the loss. Guys, now we'll take it back to we'll be right back after the break.
When you got some homework and you need a place to go, when you're working on a project and your computer is slow, there's a little place on campus that I think that you should know about. The first story of the library is what I'm talking about. Walk past Java City and then you will see the new commons area is where you should be. They got computers and printers, couches, tables, and more. It's the perfect place to go for study time galore.
Well, I just got out of class.
Ah! Hey guys, there's a Halloween costume contest going on. You want to go?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This week, News Center took a look at the organization Saving the Animals of Rowan to see what they do to help the community.
STAR was started in 2006 by a group of women who felt 30 to 50 dogs a month being put to sleep was too high. The organization Saving the Animals of Rowan County has saved nearly 3,000 dogs in the area from being put down. News Center spoke with president of STAR, Susan Creasett, to find out more on how STAR helps save the dogs.
When STAR takes dogs out of the dog pound, they go to rescues in other parts of the country that have stronger spay-neuter laws, and there are not enough dogs for the people that want dogs in those areas. And so what we do is we get them out of the dog pound, they get spayed, neutered, up to date on their shots, they get wormed, they get any skin conditions, any medical conditions that are a problem, taken care of, and then at that point, they're free to go to this rescue. Now, that may sound like a simple thing, but our budget for vet bills is over $60,000 a year. And so we rely heavily on donations and reimbursements from some rescues and adoption fees in order to cover those costs. The dogs, once they get to the new rescue, are put into foster homes. Many of the rescues that we use require that the dogs go through a 2-week training period where they get puppy obedience or dog obedience training so that they become better pets. And then the new people that adopt the dogs are required to take the dogs to obedience school. And they also are required to update the rescue every 6 months for the first year. And then after that, once a year, they have to update the status of the dog, if it's still alive, how it's doing, if it's had any health problems. And the rescues keep track of that.
If you're interested in adopting a dog from the Rowan County Dog Pound, the pound hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. STAR holds fundraisers to help pay for the dog's vet bills, food, housing, and more. STAR will be hosting a fish fry September 30th. Tickets to attend are $8. For News Center, I'm Don Young.
If you would like to get involved with STAR, you can reach them via Facebook at Saving the Animals of Rowan or send an email to juliat@yahoo.com.
If students are trying to decide what to do with some of their time in between classes, friends, and homework, MSU offers quite a selection. One of the newest clubs added to the list is the MSU Film Club. News Center's Ariel Ross has more.
One of the newest clubs on campus is the MSU Film Club. News Center spoke with the president and co-creator, Hardy Breeding.
During the spring semester of 2011, Professor Jeffrey Hill and I came up with this idea for a new student organization on campus. We're calling it the MSU Film Club. Pretty much what it's going to be is just an educational yet entertaining club. We have a lot of plans for this club. We're going to view films, probably in Breckenridge 002. Probably going to rent a popcorn machine and just try to recreate that movie environment.
Hardy mentioned that anyone with an interest in film is welcome to join this club, and that it is free to do so. News Center also spoke with the faculty advisor for the new club, Professor Jeffrey Hill.
The Film Club has a number of events coming up. We have a filmmaker that'll be coming in on October 3rd. We have the Student Academy Awards happening in February, and we have the Moorhead Film Challenge happening in April. The MSU Film Club should be a direct arm of the department's multimedia production program, as well as being sort of an offshoot of the Film Studies minor, which has recently been put on the books here at Moorhead State University.
For News Center, this is Ariel Ross.
If any student is interested in the MSU Film Club, they can contact Hardy Breeding by phone at 502-600-1880 or Professor Hill at 606-783-9383.
Guys, it's a shame that the football team isn't playing this weekend here. They're away because the weather's going to be beautiful. It's going to be cooler, but I mean, it's fall time. That's what we're expecting. But it is a shame that we won't be outside to enjoy it, watching our team. But along with this great weekend we had, I really liked our new segment we did. It turned out really good.
You sure notice? I feel like we really got an in-depth look at what these students were doing,
Definitely.
Will and Kara. I really appreciate them coming on the show today. I really think we got to take a much better look at what they do as students that a lot of students don't get opportunities to do.
Yep.